Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Consistency Killed the Fat. My name is Martina Baker and I have lost 45 pounds in 100 days. And today I'm going to be telling you guys exactly how to get started with your weight loss journeys. My number one top tip is start where you are. Now, a lot of the time, I know that from my own experience, I would be eating loads of junk food all day, non-stop, and in my mind I'd be like, well, from tomorrow I'm gonna have a smoothie and a juice, and then I'm gonna have a salad, and then I'm gonna have a little bit of steamed veg, and I just wouldn't do it because that didn't sound good to me. It wasn't exciting, it wasn't anywhere near to where I was, and so it was just something that I was never gonna do and would constantly put off. So my top tip for you is to start where you are. If you're currently eating McDonald's, which you can't eat at the moment, but if you're currently eating junk food and stuff like that, then start there. When I first started, I was still having McDonald's, I know, but I was still having McDonald's sometimes for breakfast. I was having whatever I wanted. I was kind of keeping my foods the same as how they were before. The only thing I was changing is now I was counting the calories. So I would say that that's a helpful tip because it stops you from procrastinating and it keeps you sort of in the same bubble. And as you go along, you can refine it and you can make it better. So one of the concepts that I really like is you have bad. Now, obviously, there's no such thing as good food, bad food. But what I'm talking about is more in terms of your health and the healthiest foods to eat. So you've got the bad food, good food, better and best. And sometimes what we do is we try to go from bad to best and it's just not good. So sometimes you just have to go from bad to good to better. Do you know what I mean? So just compromise with yourself. Allow yourself to have things that, you know, in the long run you might cut out, but for now it's okay and you're still going to get your goal. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will still get your goal. So start where you are. Don't do anything extreme. Don't cut out loads of foods. It's just not going to be sustainable. It's not going to be something that's going to make you want to start. So make your food plan something you're going to enjoy. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. If you like eating crisps, if you like eating junk food, eat crisps, eat junk food, just eat it in smaller amounts. Don't do anything extreme. Pick foods that you enjoy, foods that you're going to look forward to, because that's how you're really going to get started. The main reason why I didn't get started for so long is because I wasn't going to enjoy the foods and I knew that I was going to be giving up all the things that I like. Don't give them up. Just give up eating them in the quantities that are continuing to keep you at the weight that you are not happy to be at. So that's my number one tip. Start where you are. Number two is make peace with your body and do daily mirror work. Now, I know this sounds really hippie, but you guys know I'm a hippie. But it's very, very, very important that you love your body right now. People have it in their mind that when they get to a certain weight, they're going to love their body because it's going to look so great. But it's not really how it works. You have to love your body from now. And it's going to help you to stay on track if you already like and love yourself. Because then you're going to do things that benefit you. Right now, if you're at a weight that you don't want to be at and you're eating in a way that's unhealthy, you're already not being on your own side. So you need to do everything you can to get yourself on your own side. And looking at your body and saying nice things to it is a really, really good start. I like to work out in front of the mirror and I just admire myself, look at my sweet ass, and just, yeah, really enjoy myself and just, like, you know, get into myself. And I spent a lot of years disliking my body, but looking at my body and accepting my body and loving my body and just getting to know myself has been a really helpful thing, and it's really helped me to get to where I am today, where I can be consistent and persistent and determined and motivated and show up for myself on a daily basis, no matter how I'm feeling. So my second tip would be to stand in the mirror for at least 10 minutes a day, look at your body, say kind things to it, and just start to really make peace with yourself, especially if you're somebody who struggled a lot with your self-esteem and the way you feel about your body. My number three tip is stop all negative self-talk. Now, this one is actually it is a major key in life for everything, but especially when it comes to weight loss. So many people, myself included, put themselves down around their weight. I mean, I don't do it anymore, but I think for a lot of us, it's a defense mechanism against the world calling us fat. We put ourselves down, we're self-deprecating. Don't do it. And especially don't do it when you're just talking to yourself. I mean, don't do it ever, but like, you have to change the way you talk to yourself. If you're like, oh, you're so lazy, oh, you never stick to diet, oh, what's the point in getting up now? It's 12 o'clock. Then you're not going to do it. You know, if you're losing in your mind, you're not going to win in life. You have to start winning in your mind. Like, that's how I got to be in a winning mentality, in a winning reality, is by changing my mind, by being like, I'm a winner, I'm persistent, I'm consistent, I'm determined, I'm powerful, I'm strong. And these are all things that I would say to myself, and I'm not joking, for like a year, 2 years before it really started to get in. But I really think that if you guys start doing it consistently, diligently, and with power and with force, it's something that can change your life in a very quick amount of time. So you need to just start really working on your self-talk. And you also have to kind of figure out a little bit where it came from. For me, that was a really key part. My negative self-talk came from my childhood. The people that were around me, the people that raised me, were really negative and put a lot of negativity into me. And so I had to get that out, and I had to see where that was coming from. And if you don't know the source of things, sometimes you can't really fully analyze them. So look to why it is you feel like that, why it is you're talking to yourself in that way, and who it is that you got that talk from. Do you even still talk to that person? Because if you don't, you're still letting them talk to you. Cut that out. Stop all negative self-talk. From now on, I want you to talk to yourself like you are, imagine you have a daughter or a son that you love, that you want to grow into this great person who has so much self-esteem and can do anything that they want to do. That's how you need to talk to yourself. You need to be like, come on, you need to cheerlead yourself, push yourself forward to do all the things you want to do. And that's the only way that you're going to stay consistent and persistent on this weight loss journey. You can't be defeated in your mind. You have to win in your mind, okay? Tip number 4 is be realistic but not cruel, okay? So it's good to stay in reality. Like I've talked about before, a lot of self-acceptance or body positivity or health at every size type people will not really stay in reality. They'll dip in and out of it when it suits them. They'll pretend that health has something to do with weight, and they'll just kind of conflate things that don't need to be conflated. Just because we've been hurt or people are prejudiced against us because we are overweight doesn't mean that it is healthy to be overweight. And so I think the best thing to do for yourself, for me, I had to be like, okay, realistically, I'm 100 pounds overweight, but I don't need to be cruel about myself. So it's just being kind of like scientific about it. So just be like real, like, okay, this week I lost 2 pounds. Is that on track with my goal? Is it not on track with my goal? You just kind of want to stay detached. So stay in real life. If you haven't lost weight for several weeks, you're doing something wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? You need to check what you're doing wrong. You need to be like, okay, am I counting my calories enough? Or am I tracking things enough? Am I doing enough exercise? Am I drinking enough water? You want to stay realistic. You want to stay pragmatic about this journey, but you'd never want to be cruel. So if you have a few weeks where you don't lose anything at all, you don't beat yourself up about it. You just go back and go, okay, why is that? Which leads me on to my next tip, which is number 5, educate yourself about the dangers of obesity. I know that's not a fun tip, but it's really, really helpful, I think, in just getting yourself to a place where you understand the urgency and the need to change your ways. Do you know what I mean? Like, so for me, I needed to know, like, this is going to shorten my life expectancy. This is going to put me at high risk for all sorts of cancers, for heart disease, for all these other things, And I don't want to have a shortened lifespan, not for the fucking sake of food. So I wanted to change things, and I've been wanting to change stuff for a long time, but it's not until I've really implemented the things that I'm telling you today that I've been able to stick to it and be consistent. And the real thing that everybody talks about, but it's hard to implement, is changing your mentality. But yeah, part of that is reading up. Now, I would recommend a book called Eat to Live by Joel Fuhrman, and he has another one which is The End of Dieting, which has so many scientific studies in about the dangers of obesity, the dangers of being overweight. It is important to read up on this. It's important to know. If you don't know, if you don't read up on it, you're not living in reality. You're living in this other place where, shit's just, it's not going to go right for you, because eventually these things are going to catch up with us. And now more than ever, it's really important to take care of our health and to put our health first. Tip number 6 is calorie count or track your food. Now, I've said this before in my other videos. I really feel like calorie counting is a major key. It's a game changer, and I resisted it for years and years and years and years because of this notion that it was really restrictive and it's like this and it's like that. But realistically, if you self-parent yourself and ensure that you are not under eating and you are not cutting calories drastically, calorie counting is the perfect tool. It really, really is, because it allows you to eat whatever you want to eat and still get to your goals. It allows you to eat pizza, eat pasta, eat whatever it is, cake, chocolate, whatever you want to eat. And also, your fruits and your veggies and stuff like that, and stay in a calorie deficit. It's perfect. It's a budget. It's a food budget. It's nothing more and nothing less. And as I've said before, try to take all the emotion that you might have built up around it over the years. And I had a lot around it too. And I just kind of had to be like, you know what? It's not that deep. It's just a way of getting to my goal. And as long as I use it like a fucking adult, it's not going to harm me. It's only going to harm me if I don't like myself, and therefore I think that I only deserve 900 calories a day, and therefore take it to this crazy extreme that doesn't allow me to get to my goal. So one of the best ways to start a weight loss journey is to download my Fitness Pal, to go on Calorie Counter and check out how many calories you need to eat to either lose 1 or 2 pounds a week, depending on what rate you want to lose weight at. And then just stick to those calories. Eat whatever the fuck you want, but stick to those calories, and I swear to you, you will get results. Like I said before, when I first started, I was eating all sorts of bullshit, but I was sticking to my 1,600 calories and I was still getting results. And I was amazed and baffled at that. I'm like, what? I can go to Domino's and still fucking lose weight? Yeah, because you're not eating 5,000 calories worth of Domino's. You're eating 800 calories worth of Domino's. The other thing I would say with this tip in terms of calorie counting and tracking your food is just drink your fucking water, okay? I've said it before. Drink enough water. Water's going to help flush out the toxins in your body. It's going to help you to feel better. You need water. Drink water. Tip number 7 is get real about your excuses. Figure out who you're making the excuses for. What are you rebelling against? Who's the real victim of this rebellion? I spent ages being like, I'm not losing weight. What for? They can't tell me what to do. They can't tell me what to eat. Then I realized that I was rebelling against the adults in my life as a child who would try to stop me from eating. Now, they would obviously try to stop me from eating because I was an overweight child and they could see that there was something wrong. I carried that into my adulthood and I kept just trying to be like, I kept pushing against something and I couldn't understand what it was. And it was actually against these old forms of restriction. It was like the little rebel in me that was like, they can't tell me what to do. I can eat what I want. But realistically, who is the victim of that? And I think that's something really important to think about. If you're at a point right now that you don't want to be at and you're making all these excuses, who the fuck is suffering? It's not the people that have ever called you fat. It's not somebody who's ever tried to stop you from eating what you want. It's you. It's your kids. It's your partner. It's your joints. You know, it's your hips. It's your knees. It's you that's suffering. And so I had to really figure out, who am I rebelling against? And I was rebelling against the adults in my life who were looking after me as a child. That's who I was rebelling against, because they would tell me, you can't do this. And so as soon as I had freedom and had free reign, I did what I wanted. But it's time to mature, to become an adult, and to be like, okay, look, I can do whatever I want. I can. We can all eat whatever we want. We can all weigh whatever we want. But realistically, what's best for us, what's good for us, and what will lead us to our highest self and to our longest, greatest life. And it's not, you know, eating copious amounts of food and ignoring the health implications of that. So that's another thing that I would say is look into your excuses, really look into them. And I'm not trying to shame anyone, because I don't think that that's helpful or needed. But, you know, if you are at home right now and you have access to, even, it doesn't matter, if you just got a food scale, if you have a food scale, that's literally all you need. You don't even need to have access to incredibly healthy food. Just start to weigh and measure and be in control of what it is that you're eating. When you hear yourself making these excuses, I need you to counteract them and to challenge them. When you hear yourself going, oh, I'm too tired to work out today, go, okay, but bitch, who misses out? Like, who's the one that loses out from not working out today? You know, and actually, are you too tired? You're not too tired to be staying up watching Netflix. You're not too tired to be doing X. You're not too tired to be doing Y. And I'm not saying that this is how you should react to yourself every day. Now, you take it on a day-to-day basis. For me, I've got bottom line things that I have to do every day. Every day I have to go for a walk. Every day I have to do my workout that my trainer's given me, apart from my rest day. Those are non-negotiable. I don't question them. I don't ask myself. But there's some other things that sometimes I don't do. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm genuinely tired. And you'll know when you're genuinely tired and when you're just making excuses to stay where you are. And with time, you'll start to learn when you're making an excuse and when you're looking after yourself. But I think what a lot of people are doing is making excuses and pretending that that's some way of looking after themselves or protecting themselves. Don't protect yourself from greatness. Don't protect yourself from your goals. You need to get to them, and in order to get to them, you need to drop the excuses. Tip number 8 is to create a affirmation-based morning routine. Now, I know that's a long one, but yeah, daily affirmations are really important, and morning routines are also really important. Now, one of the books that I've read that has really helped me is called The Last Diet by Shuru Izadi. I will link it below. It's a great book, and she has you do this exercise where you write down your food plan, whatever that might be. Now, I put mine into my fitness pal, so I'm just doing my calories at the same time, and you could write yours in a book or however you do it. And then you write down all the things that could potentially go wrong in that day. So you write, I don't know, whatever you're having, your breakfast, lunch and dinner. And then you think, okay, what could fuck me up today? And you write all the things that could be, so maybe, now this was obviously more when everyone's out and about, but it could be like, okay, it's someone's birthday at the office and there's cake there and that's not on my plan. Or it could be, my partner really pisses me off, I get angry, and normally when I get angry I eat this and that, which is not on my plan. And then when you've written all the things that could potentially go wrong throughout the day when you're having this food plan, you then write what you're going to do when it happens. So you're kind of giving yourself a plan of action. So it might be like, okay, when the cake comes around, I'm going to say, no thanks guys, I'm not really in the mood for cake today, and I'm not going to have a slice. Or when my partner says this and that, I'm going to say, look, you're really making me angry, and I'm going to verbalize my emotions rather than stuffing them down with food. So it just kind of gives you a really good foundation, because it makes you realize your habits and your patterns and the things that you tend to do in reaction to life and to emotions, rather than just to do it automatically on autopilot. So yeah, having an affirmation based morning routine where you also plan your plan of attack. You know, I think one of the things that I've learned most about life is that it's a fight. You know, you have to fight for what you want. You can't lie down, you can't sit down, you can't be complacent. And I think there is becoming this culture of complacency, because nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings and say it's not healthy to be fat, or there's no such thing as health at every size, and people just get triggered and don't want to hear that, but it's the fucking facts. And I just feel like this, you know, I care about people's feelings as much as anybody else, but I also care about people's health and people's life expectancy. So I just really feel like when you have a plan of action, a plan of fighting, you know, a plan of protecting yourself from yourself at times, it's a good thing. And affirmations, I've spoken about that before, are really important. So you want to do affirmations after you've written out your plan of attack for the day. You then want to write out your affirmations. I'm beautiful, I'm powerful. I mean, you can write them, you can listen to them, you can say them. I'm beautiful, I'm powerful, I'm persistent, I'm motivated. All these things you can say it, and will just kind of keep you feeling strong and empowered throughout the day. And I feel it's a really great way to start your day and to set your intention. Tip number 9 is get accountable. So I really feel like being accountable to someone or to something is a really big way and a really good way to start a weight loss journey. Now, I started my Instagram account when I'd lost about 20 pounds, but for me, especially throughout this quarantine, having my Instagram account and having to post every single meal that I'm eating means that I have to consistently stay on track and also be slightly mindful of what it is that I'm eating, because I'm showing what I'm eating. And so yeah, getting accountable, either find a friend who is similar, has a similar goal and is positive and is not going to drag you down. Don't get your old eating buddy, because generally you'll just fall back into the same habits of eating. But get someone who's on the same wavelength as you, who wants to change their life, who wants to be realistic, who wants to get to their goals, wants to get results, and check in with them on a daily basis. Yeah, just get accountable. Even if that is just like, okay, you say to yourself, I have to fill out my calories every day, and if I don't do that, there's someone that I might tell about that. Find someone who you don't want to disappoint, and that someone should ultimately be you. But sometimes it's not you, because we don't care enough, and it needs to be something outside of ourselves. Like I've said, for me, having my healthy wage bet, I'm not trying to lose that bread, I'm not trying to lose that money, I want the money. So it's really helping to make me accountable. But also, so is my Instagram, and I'm very, very aware that once this year is over and I've lost £100, I don't want to gain it. So I'm trying to also make my life fit around this new person that I am trying to be, this new body that I'm trying to have. So there's more than one thing that's keeping me accountable. Even just like having a personal trainer as well, that's another thing that keeps me accountable. Telling people about things, that kind of keeps you accountable as well. But be careful with that. I think in the beginning it's best to keep it to yourself. If there's a lot of negative people around you, and also if you've tried a lot of times to do diets, people can often say negative things which don't help you. So that would be my number 9 tip: get accountable. My final tip is just do it. Get it done, get your shit done, just get started, stop procrastinating. You've got all the tools that you need. You are strong enough, you are brave enough, you are smart enough. You can do it. You can be consistent, you can be persistent. I am no different to anybody else. In fact, I'm probably have a worse track record than a lot of people, because I, as anyone who knows me will attest to, have done a million diets and have lost and gained weight a million times. But what I've learned from that process is you just need to do it. You're not going to get there by thinking about it. You're not going to get there by tweeting about it. You're not going to get there by talking about it. You just have to get it done. You have to get it done. You have to stick to your calories. You have to get your exercise in. You have to drink your water. And that is what's going to give you the results. And sometimes now I'm even shocked at my results. I'm like, whoa, like I just keep getting these results. And it's like, yeah, because you just keep getting your shit done. And when you get your shit done, you get your results. It's as simple as that. So I hope those tips were helpful for you guys. I really do feel like sometimes the hardest part is getting started, but I think if you do all of these things, you can get started and you can get to your goal. Give yourself a chance. Be on your own side. Be your own cheerleader. Do things that you love and enjoy. Make it something that can be a lifestyle that you can do for the rest of your life, because you're more likely to stick to it. You're more likely to want to start it. Don't cut out foods that you love, and don't listen to any negative people, and get real about the health implications of obesity and being overweight, because they are really real. And, you know, a lot of the people that advocate and profess that they're not real and they're made up, or it's some sort of societal bias, are not going to be there when you're getting long-term diseases or when you're suffering as a result of your obesity. And you know, that's the real. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can keep following my weight loss journey on Instagram. It's at Consistency Killed the Fat. And thank you so much for the love and support that I've been receiving so far. And if you guys have any questions, DM me on Instagram or right under this video, and let me know what kind of videos you want to see next. Okay, lots of love, guys. Bye.